Hey everyone, and welcome to AGT Time. Cody Patterson here, along with.
Along with Jay Bach, we have watched and we are tonight going to discuss the quarterfinals number, no, not quarterfinals, semifinals number two. And the only thing left is finals and our finals results episode. I'm very excited to see how this season plays out. But it's been a wild ride so far.
Yeah, so this was a very interesting semifinals two. Uh, it wasn't a very good semifinals two for me personally, at least for my team. It wasn't very good. But I also, I think I tweeted this out at the end. I love this show so much, but it also infuriates me so much.
Fair enough. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
There are many things that I find frustrating about the show, but there are many things that I also find uh, worth tuning in every week and making a hobby out of this. So all things said, I love the show. I'm excited to see how this story wraps up. But yeah, what are some frustrations that you have, or will we get to that as we talk?
I think we'll get to that as we talk. But one of the big things, and I'm not sure if we've talked about the frustrations of the judges' votes, but I think the biggest thing was the judges' votes this week.
That's fair enough. I I didn't like the way that it went personally,
Yeah,
uh, but yeah, I guess we'll get to that specifically when we get there. Um, Anything else you want to say about like the production or the season this far, or anything before we kind of jump into the actual acts?
I think the production's been really good this season. They've really stepped it up, especially for semifinals too. We'll get into it, but one of the acts had some singers rise up from the stage. We've gotten a lot of pyro this season. I think they've done a good job, except for the lighting that we had in quarterfinals two. I think they've done a pretty good job overall for production.
Yeah, I was remembering last year their stage production, like it felt like it was more immersive, maybe is the right word. It seemed like they really ramped up like the holographics around the performers, and this year it's a little bit more like performers on a stage. uh,
Yeah. Well, last year, if you remember, we had them kind of spread out all over the Universal lot,
well, some of
and
them I think were around the world. Yeah.
yeah, some of them were actually too as well. Like in India, Bad Salsa was actually in India. So I think a lot of the live performances were pre-taped. They were able to add a little bit extra production to it. This year, they're actually live. They're in the Dolby. They're on stage. I'm not gonna say they're limited to what they can do, but they just can't do what they did last year.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Well, good. I guess should we talk about semifinals too?
Yeah, let's kick off the business real quick before we get into that.
You're gonna make me do it? Okay.
I'm gonna make you
It's
do it.
we can be found. It's at AGT Time Pod. That's where we are on Facebook. That's where we are on YouTube, on Instagram. It's AGT Time Pod at gmail.com. AGT Time Pod is where you want to reach out to us. So that's that business. We are in fact live on YouTube right now. I don't know if there's anybody watching us, but hi if you are. And if you are interested in hearing our thoughts about this live, it'll be next Thursday evening at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 3 o'clock Hawaii time.
9 Eastern, 8 Central.
9 8. What did I say? 8 7?
8 7.
Oh,
Yes, we
geez.
can do
No,
it at
no,
eight
no.
seven. I'm open
Don't
for
do that.
that.
I, I have to get my kids to bed. 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 3 o'clock Hawaii time, right?
3 o'clock Hawaii. I think I did the calculation 1 a.m. London time. I think it's
Okay.
either 1 or 2 a.m. London time. So,
Yeah, 1 o'clock checks out for me. I feel like we're
yes.
-5, but
Yeah.
good. All right. Well, I guess I'll stick it in here as
Okay.
well because I feel like this is the spot for me to do it. We're always asking you guys to review our podcast. I'm talking to you, Geekazoid. Go to iTunes and I'm not calling somebody geekazoid. That's their Twitter handle. It, give us a 5-star review. Tell us what you like. Help us get better. Help us be found by more people. Tell a friend about us. And in my quest for more podcast reviews, I have been making a point to review at least a podcast every week. And we've gone over how in the world where comedy and music overlap, like that's my sweet spot on a Venn diagram. One of my favorite podcasts is it's called Off Book, the improvised musical podcast with Zach and Jess, and they literally improvise a musical every week on their podcast, sometimes with guests, sometimes without, but they've got their family band. It's really an impressive feat for them to not just tell a story, but sing a story every week, and to make it rhyme and to make it interesting and to make it good. There's all the different styles of music that they are able to do. It's so much fun. If you're a fan of improvisation, if you're a fan of music, if you're a fan of musical theater, this is a pretty sweet spot. So it's one of my favorites. It always makes me smile. I'm always excited when I see it come up on the podcast feed. Off Book, the improvised musical podcast with Zach and Jess. That's my review for this week. 5 stars. I recommend it. Would you give me 5 stars now, please?
I love that title because it's just goes along with improv stuff. They're going off book, off script, and I'm a big fan of improv. I always love watching comedians do improv. They have the what was it? Whose line it is anyway? Whose line it is anyway? I love that. Anytime you can just give a comic a topic, or give an actor or a stage product, whatever, some sort of topic, and then they just go. I think that's just so entertaining, because it's not something. I give complete props to actors that have done scripts and Broadway performance and all that, but I think this is one of the most creative things, because they've got to think of everything right off the top of their head. They're not going by a script or going by a score or anything of that nature that's wrote down.
Have you ever done improv, Cody?
I'm not very good at improv. I'm not very good at thinking on my feet. I am more of a script type guy. I like writing things out, writing notes down, and kind of going by that. If you, as a podcaster, kind of being improv should be one of our skills, but it's not one of my top skills.
Sure.
And yeah, so I like kind of just having notes or something to go by. That's why I think I'm very fascinated by people that can do improv, because it's got I guess it's a big left brain. It's a big left brain type person that can do that. Very imaginative.
I think right brain.
Right brain. Okay, so see,
right brain, left hand. Yep.
Yes. So they're very imaginative. They can think of things right on their feet. It's so impressive. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I've done improv. I did it in high school speech. I did individual improv. I think is one of the most scary events that there is. And I remember fondly, like having an idea come to me and kind of knocking one out of the park in districts, and I made it to state, and then I kind of peed it down my leg at state. But that's kind of the fun of improv is sometimes it's a home run and sometimes it's not. But
yeah, I would love to see a comedian come on AGT and do improv. I mean, we had Michael Winslow that had them pick a topic. We've had Tom Cotter pick a topic. We've had them pick topics from a board, but they've already had a set in their mind. They're just picking something from a list. Yeah. Whereas if they just told the judges, hey, pick something at random. Give me an animal, or give me a current event or whatever. And then they had to do something. I would love to see that on AGT.
A place, an object. There's all, yep. Yeah. They can sort of build this world and then do some improv around. Boy, that'd be tough. We have had, rappers who, freestyle rap and, sort of come up with that on the spot, but that's a different skill than improv, certainly. Or, I suppose an improv troupe would probably have a lot better chance, be a lot more able to work with each other than just a an individual improver. So,
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Off book,
Yeah.
the improvised musical podcast with Zach and Jess. So I got to
So
not sing too much.
I'm gonna kind of lead into something else real quick, Jay. That this kind of leads into Wednesday. Recording this on Thursday. Wednesday was pod rev day. So podcast review day is the 8th of every month,
Oh,
where people can it's a whole thing that this person has set up. There's a Twitter account, pod rev day, and he's set up, where the 8th of every month is, they would like for listeners to go out and review podcasts and then share that on social media and whatnot. And one of the rules, though, is that the podcasts are not supposed to ask for reviews. But what I'm going to say is, yesterday was PodRev Day. Jay, I think you should take that opportunity and go write about your podcast and share it on social media
okay.
in honor of PodRev Day.
I will. I do write my reviews
Okay.
In the app that I use, and I do put them out there. I don't just give an audio review, but there is a written review and 5 stars on all the podcasts that I've reviewed so far for our little podcast. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, with all that, like, I'm begging you, please give us a podcast review. iTunes is apparently the place that has the most clout, but we'll take it on any platform that offers a place to review podcasts.
Yep. There's several of them out there, and not going to say anything, but it'd be great if you shared it on social media, so then all of the other listeners can see it as well.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. Okay. Well, let's talk about a musical group, not a comedy musical group, although there may have been a touch of improvisation in their runs and such at the end. We're talking about One Accord. This is our vocal trio. They, in their video package, kind of tell us how one of the members actually is autistic or has autisms. I'm not sure how he prefers to have it spoken about, but that is certainly an extra hurdle for the group to come over or to overcome, and to put together a really, really fun trio, a really impressive trio, I guess would be a better word. In their audition, they sang Fix You. In their quarterfinals, they sang Everybody Hurts. This time they sang Every Breath You Take by The Police. I thought this was a really fun performance, a good performance. Their piano player, I believe he's the one with autism, instead of playing piano this time, he was playing organ, which was a nice variation.
It's very churchy. It's very churchy.
Rock organ. Yeah. So that was fun. And then the choir you mentioned joins them on stage, but they don't come in from the wings or anything. They rise out from under the stage on a platform that rises 6 feet up above the base of the stage. So for the last maybe third of the song, they're doing all their runs and their riffs and their kind of playing that chorus over and over. I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it a lot. It got my foot tapping. What'd you think of One Accord's performance?
I thought this was a lot of fun. It was a very imaginative, creative way to sing this song. It's The Police. It's on the playlist. Yeah, so I like that it was. Do what?
I forgot to ask.
Yes, it's on the playlist. I liked this version of it. It was very. You mentioned the organ was very churchy. The way they sang it was very churchy. I thought it was very smooth. It brought in all their harmonies. So good. It was a great way to start off the show.
Yeah, it really was. And they looked good too. They were wearing red this time, which I think they had like a lot of blue on the stage around them, so it really popped. Howie said that was great. What I loved more this time was that it had a lot more dynamics. I love the song choice, the choreography, and the production. Heidi said, "This was so amazing. I love what you've done to the song. Made this classic rock song into a hymn. The build up from slow and then went bigger and larger, blew the roof off. I liked this better than what Sting did." Wow.
than what
Uh,
Sting did. Wow.
yeah, better than Sting. Sophia said, "I loved your performance before, but this was another level." Simon said, "On a night like this, you are either an also ran or a yes I can, and you guys have laid down the mark for what we're looking for in the finals. I think this performance may have changed your life." So I'd say pretty high praise from the judges, with 10 more acts to see, um, but uh, it felt like after that performance they were in a pretty good position. Unfortunately, they're in, what do they call it? The death spot, the kill
Yep.
zone.
Yep. Yep. So I look back real quick at both semifinals and the quarterfinals, and only one act from the three or from the five performances went through from the number one spot.
One of the
And that
five.
was
Yeah.
Unicircle Flow.
Yeah, and they're, well, we'll get there. Okay.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, One Accord does not make it into the finals. This is the end of the
Yeah.
road for them. Um, I feel like it was a good run. I feel like they could parlay this into a career. They've got something there. Um, if it's a recording or a touring career, or what exactly, I'm not sure, but there's something there.
Yeah, we had them. I was getting ready to pull up the numbers here. I don't know if let me reorganize them real quick while we're talking about this. But I think we had them at the number three spot. We did. We had them at the overall number three spot. I had them the lowest at number five.
Okay. And I
So
don't have the power rankings in front of me. Where did me and commenter have them?
you and commenter had them at two.
At two, both. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess this is, um, maybe the song choice that resonated with me most, the one that I
Yep.
was most familiar with, and there's no denying their talent. These guys are good.
Yeah, they are really really good.
Okay. Uh,
They're gonna do very well for themselves.
yeah, yeah. All right, very good. Let's talk about the second act of the night. Well, and I don't think I mentioned it, but One Accord was on AGT Commenter's draft board, and that is a 2 points that he did not get on
Yep.
his draft. Second act of the night then is Unicircle Flow, our unicyclers. They are on my draft board, and I love this group so much. uh,
They're so good.
they are so good.
Yeah.
This week they're wearing very different costumes than the last
Yep.
couple times. They have
Yep. Very pleased with that.
silver outfits on, so you can see the unicycles underneath them. It's leggings instead of dresses. It doesn't look like they're going to fall over their flowing robes around them. Um, you know, it, I can't give a lot of detail about what they do. It's a lot of sort of the same thing, right? They, at
Yeah.
the very beginning, they sort of mount their unicycles in a wave, like the first one and the second, third, right on up. They have sometimes they're riding forward, sometimes they're riding their unicycles backwards, which is always interesting. A lot of standing on the forks and pushing or pulling each other across the stage. Lots of jumping and spinning, and all of it done in sync. At the end of the performance, there's two ladies that are on one unicycle, and then at the very end, there's three unicyclists that are holding up a fourth. Two. She has her hands on two in the front, and then the one in the back is holding up her legs. So, um, cool stuff. And I have trouble putting my finger on what I love about this act so much. And like, I'm not having a hard time expressing my love for them. I love them. I think that's clear. But like, in my watching YouTube, or people, things that come up, right? I've seen a lot of magicians. I've seen a lot of jugglers. I've seen a lot of variety acts. I'm a one-man band, right? So like, when YouTube sort of pushes this odd weird stuff at you sometimes. But this is something that I've never seen, right? Like, I've seen so many variety acts, but I've never seen unicyclists dancing on their unicycles. And the fact that it's done at such a high level. I feel like I should have come across this before, and it feel like it's old news, but no, it's new and it's different and it's so amazing and so unique. If that helps, maybe to express why I love it so much. Um, but Cody, what do you think of the performance? What do you think of Unicircle Flow?
Yeah, I love them just because of their uniqueness. It's so different. We've the only thing that's been come close to this is that family that rode the unicycles 10 feet in the
Yeah.
air.
Okay.
That's the only
Yep.
thing. I mean, we've seen jugglers that have done unicycles, but we haven't seen coordination like this, where they're
Yes.
yeah, where it's a dance, but it's on unicycles. And I think they also added a little bit of sexiness to it this week with their outfits. I thought the outfit choice was much better than last week. I felt and I'm sure that they've done a lot of practicing with the dresses. They've made sure that the dresses fit so that they can ride the unicycles, but I still think it was not a good choice, particularly since one of the girls fell. I think that that wearing shorter skirts and not really leggings, but tighter fitting pants makes more sense when riding a unicycle. I just feel that the dress could get caught in the pedals or the spokes or or the gears. There's just too many problems there with a long fitting dress. Um, but the performance itself was much more exciting this week. Like you said, they were lifting them up. There's three of them carrying one of them, and she's got her leg up in the air. There was just so much more going on that I'm with you. It's the uniqueness, it's the imaginativeness, if that's a word, of this group. They're so much fun to watch. Uh, Almost there's no end to what they can really do with these unicycles.
There's really not. There's
Yeah,
really not. Heidi said that was so amazing. To me, you really showed how versatile you can be with this act. It was light and fun and bubbly. Sophia said, I have to say, I love the change of the more modern music. These outfits, we could see the unicycles better. Simon said, I'm going to be honest. A couple weeks ago, I thought it was boring because of the music. Changing the music made it so much better. You've given yourself a shot at the finals. Howie said, America needs to vote. You were better this time. And so unique and so energetic and so in sync. So I'm, I was over the moon about this performance. I have been about this act the entire season. Um, and I wrote these words then. I'm happy to have them on my team no matter the outcome.
yeah.
Uh, but I really didn't like the outcome.
No, no, no. It was a terrible, 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 terrible outcome.
Yeah. So they ended up on the bubble in that 4, 5, 6 spot. They did not get America's vote on Wednesday night, and they did not get the judges' vote then. And that's the end of the line for Unicircle Flow.
Yeah, that was the most atrocious thing that I think I've seen this season is that the judges did not pick them to go through.
It feels like this is what I love about America's Got Talent is acts like this. And
Yes,
like
this
this
is
is
what this show is
what
about.
they
This
are.
show is yes,
Yes.
yes. This is what this show is about.
And they were eliminated.
Yes, and I would have been okay if it went to a 2-2 tie, even though it really
Sure.
shouldn't have. It should have been a 3-0. It should have been 3-0 for them.
Yeah.
But if it went to a 2-2 tie and then it had to go back to America's vote again, and they didn't go through, I might be able to live with that. But the judges did not pick this unique this unique group to go through. They picked
Yeah.
I'm just going to spoil it. They picked a singer. They picked a singer to go through over this.
Yeah. Yeah. I was disappointed. I really, as I was watching this, I was like, okay, that's 2 more points for me. I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah.
But no, it's they're eliminated. It's really unfortunate. I I do love this act so much. I fully suspect or expect them to be on the America's Got Talent stage show. Like this is exactly the kind of thing that you can put up there
Yeah.
with all those other variety acts. They're
Yes.
made for the Vegas stage. This
Yes.
is, I don't know what else to say about it. I'm disappointed with the outcome. I'm really
Yeah.
happy with the group.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have been. I mean, if they were on my team, I wouldn't be. I'd still be upset. But I think America is losing by not seeing them in the finals.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Take that, America.
that's
You
right. America is losing by not seeing them in the finals.
you made your bed. Now I have to lay in it. It's all right. Okay, third act of the night. Let's talk about Leah Kyle. She's
Oh,
our
sorry,
oh
Jay. Real quick, we had them. Where did we have them? We had them two overall.
number two overall. Okay,
Yeah,
how did each of us have them ranked?
I had them third. You had them first, which makes sense, and then commenter had them third. But still,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah, they're lovely. I'm sad, but I'm
yeah.
uh, better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Yeah,
talk.
I'm sorry. I just can't let this go, Jay. I'm sorry. I know you want to move on, but I just can't let this go. We talked earlier about a wild card. Simon talked on this show like he wants a wild card, and I'm hoping that would make it 11, which seems like a really odd number. I'm hoping
Yeah,
he brings two, make it an even 12. I think a 12 act finale would be great. Um, and I'm hoping this is one of them.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. It'd be a surprise. I don't see them making that change this late in the game, but if they do, that would be totally awesome.
It's Simon's show. We've seen him just make changes all over
Yeah.
the place. It's his
Yeah,
show. He can do
you're
what he
right.
wants with it. So
Uh okay. All right. So let's talk about our third act of the night. Are you ready?
yes, now I'm ready.
Okay. All right.
Breathe.
Okay. Okay. Third act of the night. This is Leah Kyle. She's our quick change artist. Heidi's golden buzzer. She is on my draft board. Um, this performance I felt was good. She starts in a white trench coat. It disappears. She has like a black and gray dress on. She waves some fans. Black gray dress turns into a red dress. Red dress turns into a purple dress, then a blue dress, then a yellow dress, like all in like real quick succession. The yellow dress turns into a different like black and white with red accents kind of dress. That was the one that like appeared to jump onto her body. She ended up in a white dress that had butterflies on it, and then the butterflies like fly off of the dress somehow. There was another like even tinier outfit. They seem to keep getting smaller and smaller somehow.
Well,
Uh,
you gotta hide them somehow. So
yeah.
yeah.
No, it's and you keep wondering, like, is this going to be the last one? Is this going to be the last one? So she goes and she sits on a swing, and the swing gets raised up above the stage. And when the red confetti blasts in front of her, she changes into this red dress that flows all the way down to the stage. Um, Great surprises throughout. There have been things revealed on, like, if you're watching closely, maybe kind of shows how it was done a little bit, or some of the things that you're not supposed to see you saw, if you know what to look for. But all in all, like, this is a really fun act. Like, she's fantastic, the costuming is fantastic. The way that you think, how could there be another change? And then it's not just a change, but it's this huge flowing dress change. It's magical. It's fun. I I really enjoyed it. I really love being able to cheer for her, on my team, really hoping for those points. Uh, what are your thoughts on Leah Kyle?
Yeah, this act was good. It wasn't great. She had a lot of flubs. She had one point where the dress didn't even fully come off. She was almost surprised by what needed to happen next, and she had kind of a couple of times where she had to hurry in order to catch up to what was happening. Yes, if you're kind of watching it, she's placing her hands in certain places, and things are appearing and doing certain things. At the beginning, she also looks very stiff, like I'm wearing like six dresses and I kind of have to just, you know, go move side to side like this because I can't breathe with all these dresses on.
Right. If I
Um,
turn around, I'll reveal more than I want to show you. And yeah,
yeah, yeah. It was fun. We've enjoyed this since the beginning. It's magical. It's very different than David and Danya that we saw in season one, and again in season. I guess they came back for what season two is a demonstration act
Yeah. Yep.
one of the one of the live shows. Um, so I really like her. She's a lot of fun, but she wasn't very good this time. There was a lot of mistakes.
There were a few mistakes along the way. I will say, like, the thing that she has over David and Danya is there have not been repeated outfits, at least not that I've
Yes,
noticed.
yes,
David and Danya, they have kind of their set number of outfits, and that's just all that it could be. It wasn't going to be bigger. Like, they do the same act with different music.
yes.
And Leah is it's not. It's very different costumes every time. Uh, and impressive. It's fun to watch, and you just never know what's going to come at you. Um, so I think, for my money, I'll take Leah Kyle over David and Danya every time.
Oh, absolutely, every single time. Uh, she's also incorporates the the stage setting into her act,
Yep.
so it's not just her on the stage. She's got a whole stage set up. The production for this is really good. um I think she's going to do well. She probably already does pretty well. I think she's going to do much better. It doesn't seem like her act is like improved each week. It's just still fun to watch, and it feels fresh just because she's doing different outfits each week. I'm not sure it's gotten better.
I'd say that's a really fair critique.
Yeah,
It's as good, but it's really good.
it is good, but
Yeah.
this time there was a lot of mistakes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Heidi said, "You proved you are the best quick change we've ever seen. You changed so much so fast." Sophia said, "This was the best. You looked amazing, and every outfit was perfection." Simon said, "Leah, that performance defined what this show is about. It was $1 million performance. You'll be a huge hit in Vegas." Howie said, "You alone deserve a stage in Vegas." So they are pushing her towards towards Vegas, towards a Vegas show, or being part of the Got Talent Vegas show at least. Um, it, High praise. I think it checks out.
Yeah, we had her at number 7 on our list.
Mm.
I had her at 8. You had her at 4, and commenter also had her at 8.
Yeah, I had her on that 4, 5, 6 bubble,
Yep.
which I'd say is where she ended up. No, she was, yeah, she was on that 4, 5, 6 bubble, and she is the one that America then voted through, leaving Unicircle Flow to see if they could get the judges pick. So Leah Kyle was the 4th act through, going into the finals, which makes me think that maybe she won't be top 5 come the when we're in the top 10. So but America seems to like her well enough to keep her pretty safely going through.
Yep. Jay, real quick, I want to give a shout out to Roy D, who's watching us on YouTube right now.
Hi, Roy.
So
you too can watch us on YouTube next Thursday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Or 15 minutes after that, after we do all our chatting and stuff.
9-ish.
All right. Were you just trying to stall? Were you not wanting to talk about our 4th act of the night here, Cody?
No. Who did we have? We have
Kabir Singh.
Oh no, we can talk Kabir. No.
Okay, Kabir's our comedian. He's on your draft board. He in his comedy set talks about having a girlfriend. Says they've been together for 4 years, which is too long, because they're mean to each other. They're not nice to each other anymore. She says mean things to him, and he says, "I can't break up with you because I'm not going back to the gym." Okay. He talks a little bit about how they each have a hall pass, and she picked the guy from Aquaman, and how he doesn't like Aquaman, and he says that.
I want to pause.
Okay.
Did he intentionally say the name incorrectly?
I don't know. Was it funnier if he says it incorrectly?
I don't know. I couldn't tell if that was the joke or not.
It's Jason Momoa, right?
Momoa. He said samosa.
Okay.
or something
Uh,
along those lines. He butchered it. So
yeah.
I couldn't tell if that like that was part of the joke.
I would say that's part of the joke, right? Like,
Okay.
you know, it, he, I,
I didn't get the joke.
well, so in this world of, hey, we have our hall passes, like, of course he's not going to like the guy. He's going to like him. He's going to dislike him so much. I can't even say his name right. Right. Like that's
Okay.
sort of the,
Maybe it would have been funnier if he said like mimosa,
yeah,
like the
okay.
drink. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I believe he's an Iowan, like
Jason Momoa,
Yeah, I think he
Aquaman.
is. Yeah.
Seems weird because it's like there y'all don't really have lakes or anything, right?
Well, we're next door to the land of 10,000 lakes,
I guess you are. Yes, you're
but
next door to it. So
but not like in comic book lore. Aquaman's not from Iowa. The actor Jason Momoa is from Iowa. It's
okay.
he's an actor. He pretends to be Aquaman.
That would be really weird for Aquaman to be from Iowa.
Buy that comic book.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So yeah, that's her hall pass. His hall pass is Elizabeth from Applebee's, the waitress from down the street, because that's way more realistic, which I think is,
She's right there.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
she's
that's a
like
little
right there.
more
Yeah.
little more
Yeah.
realistic. Okay, so he hems and haws a little bit. He gets an X from Simon. I really don't like it when X's are produced this late in the production.
Okay.
Like have them in auditions, maybe in quarters, but in semis, like let them do their act.
Okay.
Um,
What if it was just really bad? What if it was just awfully, awfully bad? Like what where's
this
your
wasn't.
yeah, it wasn't terrible. But I'm just like, where's your like where do you draw that line? Is it just like no buzzes at all in semis or
I
like does
would
it have
say,
to be
yeah, there should be no buzzes in semis and in finals.
okay.
That, that's my 2 cents.
Okay, fair enough.
I,
Okay.
I would be even okay with saying after judges cuts, no more X's. But I'll allow it in quarterfinals. They've only seen each of these acts once.
Okay.
Um, so, but I mean, you've not only gotten the judges okay to get through to the live shows, you've made it through one of the live shows. At this point, you should be um, immune from getting an X. But that doesn't stop Simon. He's going to give Kabir an X. What do you think of the performance? What did you think of him getting an X? Give me your thoughts on this.
Yeah, so I mean the jokes themselves weren't that great. I mean the hall pass thing was all right. It made sense. The again, I didn't really get the Jason Samosa joke. It didn't I don't know. There was something about it that just didn't seem right. Just it went right over my head.
Okay.
So that has started off pretty bad. But I agree with you. I don't know if it was bad enough to get an X from Simon. Once he did get the X, I did kind of like how he reacted to it. It threw him off. It threw him way off. It threw him way off once he got the X. But he seemed to react. I liked how he reacted to it by just like, "Come on, Simon, what's the deal? What's going on here?" But he couldn't really get back on his act. He even said, "Can I do one more joke?" Like he thought he was done.
Yeah.
But he couldn't get back in his rhythm. That completely threw his rhythm off. We've seen comedians get X's before during the live shows, and they've been able just to kind of fly right through it. They may react, but then they're also able to get right back on it. He was never able to recover.
Yeah, he wasn't, and he tried to do a thing where he gets the audience to come on board
Yeah.
with him. Like,
Yes.
come on, you guys boo this man. Like, and like that's an opportunity. I would say that he tried to like get the crowd on your side. Kabir sing, Kabir sing, Kabir sing. Right? Like
Yeah.
if you can get that going, like yeah, that's not a bad turn of events. But like it just wasn't quite there. He got knocked off his horse, and he tried to get back on, and he kind of did, but it didn't really just
Oh, I
quite
think he
punch.
was. I think the horse was dragging him through the dirt all over the place
That
once he
might have
fell
been
off.
all
Yeah,
right.
he was stuck in the stirrups and couldn't get
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah, Simon said, I did that because I think you needed it. It wasn't going great, and by buzzing you, I may have made the act better. Howie said a red buzzer or a boo is really a is real sarcastically. He's saying a red
Yes.
buzzer or a boo, really a great pat on the back, right? Then he says comedy's hard. There's a lot of pressure tonight. You're always very likable. Heidi said I was hearing the audience enjoy you, and I like you. I like your face, and you're very cute. And she makes a little kissy face for him, although she's very married and happily married. Sophia says, "I didn't like today. I loved you so much before, but there was something weird in your energy. It was a little depressing for me today." So she's a little bit more on the Simon side. Uh, Heidi, I think, was the highest on him, and like, admittedly, like he is cute. Like he's got dimples, and he's got a really just genuine, attractive smile about him. Um, so there is that warmness, that likability to him. Um, but unfortunately, just not a great stat.
Yeah, I want to see more from his mom. I wanted to see his mom back in his package. He and his mom are just so cute together.
But they are cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he brings her up, I think, pretty regularly. She is um, a known character probably in his in his sets, right? When he does,
Yeah.
especially when he's got more than just a couple minutes to work with. Um, so yeah, um, I like Kabir. Unfortunately, he's going to be eliminated. He's not going to make it through, which isn't a surprise after the judges' comments on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Northwell Health
Oh,
Nurse.
sorry.
No, never mind.
No, sorry. We had him. We had him 10th on our list, which
Okay.
is probably about right. We all had him
Um,
10.
okay. Across the board, not the best
Yep.
act, not
Yeah.
the worst.
Yep. Now, also, he got 7.5 minutes of screen time,
Oh my goodness.
and
That's
still couldn't like pull it out.
and still doesn't have the most screen time, right?
No. Uh. No. Well, he had the second most,
Right.
third most. Sorry, third most.
It's seven and a
So
half minutes, didn't have the most screen time, and kind of peed it down his leg. So
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm
okay.
ready.
All right, let's talk Northwell Health Nurse Choir, our fifth act of the night. This is on my draft team. This was Howie's Golden Buzzer. Um, in their audition, they sang Lean on Me and Stand By Me mashup. The quarterfinals, they sang You Will Be Found. This time they're going to sing Andy Grammer's Don't Give Up on Me. Are you familiar with Don't Give Up on Me by Andy Grammer?
I am not. No.
Me neither.
Didn't know who Andy Grammer was. That sounds like somebody that's a teacher made up for a school lesson.
Andy Grammer says apostrophe before the S, children.
Yes, yes.
Andy Grammer says that's funny. Yeah, I might have to probably a little puppet that on a popsicle stick that they bring out. Andy Grammer. Okay. All right. So Andy Grammer, he's an actual person who sang "Don't Give Up on
Yes.
Me." The Northwell Health Nurse Choir also sang it in the semifinals. I wasn't familiar with this song, didn't really connect with me. Ultimately, I didn't really care for this performance. Like it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Their dance moves are so cheesy though. I mean, it's the
I don't
same
even
dance
call
moves.
it dancing. It's swaying.
It's just they're swaying. Yes.
They
It's like
step
middle
touch.
school swaying. It's like, yes. Stuff I do during my fitness classes at work.
I want to know more about those. Maybe at a later date.
Yes.
So it's fine. Like it's inspirational. This song captures what Northwell Health Nurse Choir is supposed to be, right? It's all about inspiring. It's all about being nurses during a pandemic. It's all about everything that they can be. And just to jump to judges' comments, Howie says, I cannot separate the story from the talent. You touch 10 million people right now,
Yep.
and you are healing us. Like, it's not about the talent with the Northwell Health Nurse Choir. It's about their story.
Yes. Well, and he talked about that last time they were on, that people be walking down the street and just say, hey, it's all about the sob stories. And he's like, I get it. And he points directly at them.
America's got feels, right?
America's got feels. That's right.
And like they took that idea, they packaged it up, put a bow on it, and presented it to America as a gift.
Yes.
Right?
Or in nurse terms, they put it in a little bag and they put an IV in someone's arm, and it's
They drip it intravenously.
yes, yes.
All right. Heidi said, "You spoil us. Sometimes I wonder if you guys are actually really nurses." Sophia said, "The song was amazing. I like that you had more leads today and highlighted more voices." Simon said, "Can I be honest? I didn't like it. I loved it."
And really, people, you started booing when he did that, knowing what was coming next. It's like these people in the audience have never watched AGT before.
They might not have. I don't know. um, I don't know. He loved it. All the judges loved it. They think the world of Northwell Health Nurse Choir. Um, I put them on my team for a reason, and the reason wasn't because I loved them. It's because they were going to get me points, and they in fact do get me 2 more points.
Yes.
They when they call them forward, it's Northwell Health Nurse Choir and One Accord. One Accord is eliminated, and Northwell goes through. So um, I'm I'm happy for the points. I will happily see them in the top 10 or top 5, or even win this whole thing. I wouldn't hate it. Um, if it's going to happen, this would be the year for it. I don't see that happening, but
No.
you know what? They made top 3 on this episode. It wasn't even like they
Yeah.
snuck through. Like, America loves them.
Yeah. So wouldn't that how much wool would be pulled over our eyes if we found out they weren't actual nurses?
Ah, um, no, we just call ourselves the Northwell Health Nurse Choir. We didn't mean to. You thought we were
We
nurses?
thought you were actual nurses that like we
No,
worked in the medical field. It's like,
we just needed uniforms that matched, that were cheap. That's why we wore
yeah.
scrubs. Not what? uh, okay. Yeah, it's like the homeless choir that's not actually homeless. Right.
Yes.
But,
Yes. We had them 6th on our list. I had them the highest at 4.
okay.
You and commenter had them at 7.
Yeah, I had them outside the bubble.
Yep.
But they definitely exceeded expectations then. Um, uh, and for what it's worth, like when I do my power rankings, I'm ranking them on how much I enjoyed them, not on how much I think they will go through.
Okay.
Um, I would have ranked them probably at least top half if it was on do I think they're going to go through. So,
Yep.
But yeah, they didn't do it for me tonight.
Okay.
Speaking of things that don't do it for me, let's talk. You like that transition?
Yeah.
I'm working on my transitions here. We're
There you go. Yeah. But yeah, be like or Howie gave great feedback to Aiden Bryant. Work on your transitions between each thing. I think that's good practice for all of us.
All right. Speaking of working on transitions, we're going to transition to our 6th act of the night. Peter Antonio. He
Ooh, okay.
He's on my draft board. He was drafted very late in the in the draft. He's our mentalist. He has had close to a half an hour of screen time before this performance.
Yes.
And
I actually looked it all up. Every performance was 11 minutes or longer. Not performance, but like screen time.
Okay. So between video package and performance and judges' comments.
Yes.
So
auditions, quarterfinals, and semifinals. Over 30 minutes of screen time.
Not a bad showing, Peter. Okay, so he is not going to do like he's doing a twist on the Mentalism Act, and he's going to try to read minds and do sort of the thing like, think of what color it is. Is it red, blue, green? Green is the color. and tell me about the da 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 da, like, and he sort of narrows it down and sort of is picking up their reactions on these things to be able to tell us what's going on. So um to not drag this out to 11 minutes here, real quickly, like he has Terry Crews select a picture without looking at it, and he puts it in an envelope. He gives that envelope to Simon. Sophia is going to select a picture, and Heidi is going to select a picture, not from some predetermined pictures, but one off of her phone. He then goes on to tell us or tries to tell us what Sophia's picture is. And he doesn't. He's having a hard time reading Sophia tonight. Heidi had a picture of her husband and daughter on her husband's birthday, and he kind of figures that out through his talking to her, talking that out. Simon takes the picture that Terry Crews put in the envelope, and Peter's going to have Terry describe the picture that Simon is thinking of. So he's like, imagine the screen now. Zoom in on the picture. Is it indoors or outdoors? It's indoors. Okay. Do you see any people or objects? There's a kid. How many kids? Just one. How old? Maybe 2 or 3 years old. Okay. What is he wearing? Pajamas. Is he eating anything? Yes, a popsicle. What color is it? What kind of popsicle? A cherry popsicle. And when we look at the picture that Simon is holding, it's in fact a 2 or 3 year old kid wearing pajamas, eating a cherry popsicle indoors, right? Like he gets that picture somehow. I don't know how this is done. My the Occam's razor is that the judges are in on it. That's the easiest explanation, but I don't know that
Oh,
that's the case.
yeah, there's no way the judges are in on it this week because he was all over the place. He was I mean, other than Terry, he was all over the place with Sophia. Like he completely got it wrong with Sophia. I mean, it
Very,
wasn't
very
even
much.
close. And he's like, he named something, and she's like, no, that's not even
Nope.
close. And he's like, he looked at it. Oh, interesting. Okay, we're going to come back to you later. And I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah, we
So,
didn't come back to that.
yeah. So, um, this was one of the worst. This was on sentimentalists level
Ooh,
bad. This was
ouch.
bad. Yeah, this was bad. He's been, it hasn't been I guess auditions was okay if it was more compressed.
Yep.
But because he just draws this out 11 minutes, he's on the screen. The act itself, 8 minutes. 8 minutes was the act.
Oh,
If we look back at his quarterfinal, 8.5 was his quarterfinal performance. Um, I have to look, see if I can find his. Well, doesn't matter. There it is. Um, almost 8, not even 8 for his performance in auditions. So this was the middle length when it comes to his
okay.
performances, and it was all over the board. Um, not good, not good at all. I'm glad. I'm actually glad he's not going through because this has not been a good performance, or this has not been a good season for him.
Yeah, and like he's made it very far, and I
Yeah,
think that like there is some talent here, there is some skill here.
is there?
I, I don't know. He
Is there?
figured he did the tricks.
Okay,
I don't know how he does them. Like I
but he
don't.
didn't do the tricks. He completely missed Sophia.
Well, sure. Okay.
Okay,
That's fine. But
okay,
like, it's 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 what he does, right? And
okay.
like he does what he does better than I can do it by a lot, right? um, but yeah, like he totally whiffed on Sophia, and that hurts. Um, I don't know. I get bored with his act by the end of it. Um,
Yes,
but if they compressed this down and made it a little bit more succinct, a little bit easier to just sort of appreciate the quick hit, the quick story, and wow, how to do that, I think I'd like it a lot better. But
yeah,
for some reason, they've just given him all the screen time. Um,
yeah.
Heidi said, "I think you have the total package. Great look, great accent, perfect for
What
Vegas."
what is she watching?
Everything except for the tricks, right?
Yes,
Great look, great accent, perfect for Vegas. She's not wrong. Uh, Howie said, if you leave a judge out of the act, which was him, I'm not the one to leave out, as he's pointing to Sophia. Uh, Simon said, something went wrong. Did that go right or wrong? And then Peter defends himself. He says, psychic powers is never 100%. And that's
I
the
know.
scary thing about live TV. I can only relay the feelings that I get, which is where Simon hits his buzzer and it just kind of goes off the rails. And I don't like it when the judges fight with the contestants or the contestants maybe rather fight with the judges.
Mhm.
It just is a bad look. It's a bad feel. It's not what I'm here for.
Yeah. What he should have said was, I can only relay the sounds that I hear in my ear from someone that actually knows what's going on.
Looking over their shoulder.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I don't think that's how it's done, but I honestly don't know how it's done. So um, that could be it. All in all, I think it's a pretty. I'm okay with him going home.
Yeah. So
And
I'm gonna try to do a little homework for next week. We may come back and revisit this. It's the finale, I know, but we may, or even in the off season, we may come back and revisit this. I want to go back and look at the clairvoyance performances and time them and see how long they were on screen, and kind of compare, because they're obviously like, they're the top when it comes to this category.
yeah,
They're the best we've ever seen, obviously. Um, so I want to compare to see, did they take 8 minutes to do a performance? If they did, then fine. If not, I'm not even sure if compressing his performance would make it better. It might, but it seems like he's doing a lot of filler.
yeah, yeah. Uh, it, I get bored with
He
it.
did, yeah, he didn't need to do Sophia and Terry. He probably could have done one of them and just focused on one act,
Yeah, if he
one
could have done
one set.
just the Terry act, just the Terry reading Simon's mind, right? If he had
Yes,
only done that, I would have been blown away. I would have loved it,
yes,
and
yep,
I think he has a lot better chance. But
yep.
he hemmed and hawed, and he spent so much time with not just Sophia but also with Heidi. Uh, like I don't know,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
don't.
And I don't know why AGT gives him 8 minutes on the
I
stage.
don't know either.
I don't know either. I mean,
Crazy.
I would love to take like Leah Kyle and maybe give her another 30 seconds, or Josh Blue and give him another.
Give our
Well,
comedians more time.
yeah, give our, I mean, comedians I feel have gotten more time over the years. Um, but Unicircle Flow, give them another minute. Take a couple of minutes away from him and distribute it out to the other acts.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's talk. Are we
Oh,
done with?
uh, no shocker, we all had him 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, that's an interesting thought, though. If he tightens that up, maybe he wouldn't have been 11th. If it
Yeah.
had been just that one trick instead of three of them, that might have been all the difference in the world.
Yeah. Because he was all over the board.
Yeah. Okay. We're talking Victory Brinker now. She is the group Golden Buzzer. She's our 9-year-old opera singer. She's on AGT Commenters draft team. She, in her auditions, sang Juliet's Waltz. She sang Costa Diva in the quarters, and this time she's going to sing Nessun Dorma in the semis from the opera Turandot. Turandot. Um, it's a difficult song.
Yep.
It works well on the stage. It starts like in a minor key, and then it wakes up into a major key, and you have like these moments where like the voice really gets to soar. Um, I think she's wonderful for a 9-year-old. She could use some training. There were moments when she looked, I don't know, a little lost on stage. Instrumentals covered her up a little bit. She might have been, a touch off key here and there, or not really great vowels or diction here and there. Like, taking nothing away from her, she's a fantastic talent, but I didn't see her in the finals. Um, Unfortunately, she's gonna end up there. We'll get there in a second. What are your thoughts on Victory Brinker's performance tonight?
Yeah, I could tell that she has been seeing a voice coach. It seems like her voice has gotten better since auditions. I still don't think it's the level that it should be, but I could tell that it was better. There was She wasn't as screechy. She was actually on pitch a few times. There was several times that she wasn't on pitch. Her voice seemed clearer. Um, there was improvement. There was
Okay.
definitely improvement. It still doesn't feel like it's good. She's a cute kid.
Oh,
She's got a great personality. But if you just look at her talent, I don't think it's where it needs to be yet. They started comparing her to Jackie Ivanko, and I'm like,
mm,
no. She's getting there. If she continues with this voice coach, she's getting better. So you can definitely tell that she's got the talent. But as far as this season goes, I don't feel she's there. Interesting fact, Jay. I went back and just did a quick search in my notes.
okay.
Nessun Dorma has been sung two other times on AGT.
Oh, hey, how about that?
Yeah, yep. I don't have the season, but it looks like Amane, and I'm not sure which season this was in.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Um,
gonna guess in the 9-10 range.
yeah, it's somewhere recent because it's in my notes, so it's
Okay.
something I've seen recently. And then Paul Potts did it in Champions.
Oh, okay.
So
And he was the Britain's Got Talent
correct.
winner.
Britain's
Yeah,
Got Talent winner, right? Yep.
cool. Okay, so um, that's big shoes to fill. This is like I said, this is a big song. This is
Yeah.
a hard song. It's you know you don't have to know opera to be familiar with this song. A lot of us have heard this song somewhere along the line,
Hmm.
which I personally enjoy hearing something that I can um, follow along with. That I like, oh yeah, it's going to build here, and I watch her build, and I'm expecting it, and it happens together instead of like uh, being a little bit more reactive to it. I guess I don't know. Um, so yeah, she's no doubt a really fantastic talent. And I guess let's talk judges' comments, then we'll talk about kind of how it all went down. Simon said that song is like climbing the tallest mountain, and you conquered it. Not only are you talented, you are fearless. Heidi said you're amazing, a star in the making, and then she makes her drop the mic, like literally drop the mic. Uh, Sophia said that's a popular song, and you gave it your own twist. I think America is going to want you in the finals. Howie said, I watched this beautiful, adorable little girl and the power that comes out of your lungs. You've got a good chance at winning the $1,000,000. Wow.
Yeah. We
So
really
pretty
need to
high
start
praise from
keeping
the judges.
Yeah, we really need to start keeping track of when they say, "Hey, you could win this, or you should win this, or you're going to get the $1 million." We got to start tracking that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. They certainly throw that around
Like,
pretty regularly.
yeah,
Okay, so Victory Brinker in the results, she's going to end up on the bubble with Leah Kyle and Unicircle Flow. As we've discussed, Leah Kyle gets America's vote to go through. It's down to Victory Brinker and Unicircle Flow. And Heidi says, I choose Victory Brinker. Sophia says, I choose Victory Brinker. Howie, with a little bit of sense, says, of course, Unicircle Flow, because they're the variety act.
yes, they're the unique act. Yes,
And then Simon doesn't let it go to America's vote. He says, no, Victory should go through, and Victory Brinker is the one that goes through to the finals. I was not happy with that choice.
no, no. Do you think Simon just went with her because they chose her as a golden buzzer? Like it was his
I,
idea to do this group golden buzzer, and
yeah, there's something to be said for like all four of the judges and Terry Crews like are invested in Victory doing well.
yeah,
It reflects well on them if she makes it into
okay,
the finals. It reflects well on them if she makes it into the top five. Whereas Unicircle Flow, it only reflects well on me if they.
I think it reflects well on them as well.
Oh, sure, okay, all right,
Okay,
but
yeah,
the judges have no stake in it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I've been over it. I think Unicircle Flow is a fantastic act. I think they're made for the Vegas stage. They're the perfect kind of Vegas act. And Victory is a child and not even the best at what she does. You know, we've seen better.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a list of all the opera singers, but I mean, we just talked Paul Potts, Amane, Jackie Ivanko, um, Neely Boyd would be
Yeah.
on that list. So we kind of, if we looked at the opera singers that have done well in AGT, kind of where would she fall? I think she'd probably, at least on that list, would be fifth, but that's just
Yeah, let's call it
maybe
bottom
it's
half.
yeah, it's recency bias. I mean, yes, Neely Boyd and Paul Potts actually won. Jackie Ivanko uh, is at least number three on that list.
Yeah.
I don't remember Amane. I know she's supposed to be really good. I just don't remember her. I've got notes, but I don't remember talking about her. But I have to go back and review all that. Um, so I would say, yeah, she's going to be bottom half. I would say, but she's not. I still think she's probably going to be at the bottom of this
Yeah.
of this list that we're just thinking of right
Sure.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Victory Brinker, congratulations on making it through to the finals. You get 2 points for AGT commenters team. And that's what that is. If it had gone the other way, if Unicircle Flow had gone through and not Victory Brinker, our points would be take 2 away from commenter, add 2 to me, and we've got me in the
Got a
lead
battle.
instead of him.
Yeah. Yep.
So
We had her at number 9 overall.
yeah. So
So
she definitely exceeded our expectations.
yeah. So it's we haven't been big on her the entire season, and I'd still like to hear from someone what they see in her, what they really like about her.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I'm curious myself. All right. So let's talk eighth act of the night. This is Chap Kids. These are on your draft board. They are they're like Chap Kiss dance team, but kids.
Chapkiss family dance
Oh,
team.
I'm sorry. All right.
Yes.
No, like I kind of poo poo on them, but like I can't deny it, right? Like they're high energy, they're quite in sync. Um, they're not the highest flying, they're not the most in sync, they're not better than Unicircle Flow.
It's different.
It's different.
It's different. Yeah.
By the end of the song, I was kind of bored by it.
Okay.
But like this just isn't my thing. Like I don't watch dance groups. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have an appreciation for it. As I'm looking around, Reddit and online and Twitter, like there seems like a lot of people that are really behind Chap Kids. I don't see it myself.
Yeah.
But
yep.
Do you want to defend them, or do you want to tell me something that I'm missing here?
Yeah, I mean, and we're not the dance experts on this, but we get on here and we talk about it. But we are not the dance experts. We're not an expert really on anything that involves this show, but we get on here and we talk
this
about
is very
it.
true. Yeah.
So
thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you for watching. Thanks, Roy. We appreciate it. After watching this performance, this particular performance, I was like, there's an easy 2 points for me right there. I was like, it was almost a lock. I was like, there's 2 points right there, because yes, their synchronization was on point. Their energy was on point. Sophia and Heidi, I think they talk about the song picks for these dance crews, and I'm like, it's just like rhythmic beat. I mean, I listen to music, but this like techno dance type stuff, it all really sounds this is old man me. It's like this all sounds the same to me. All that noise just sounds the same to me. So
too dang loud.
Yeah. So I mean, I enjoy it. It's fun to listen to, but I can't tell the difference between one techno dance song and another one.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed watching it. It was better, I felt, than their quarterfinals. I was for sure this was like, that's a group that's going through right there.
All right. Okay. Did you get any Chef-Elution vibes from the Chap Kids?
Not really. Did you? Am I missed something?
I did. There was times that
Okay.
they were like, kind of bouncing across the stage in a shuffle dance kind of way.
Okay. You think
At
they
least
called Shuffleolution up, said, "Hey,
what I
we
understand
need
about
something for
shuffle
the
dance, anyhow.
yeah, we need something from the semis. Can one of you come out and kind of
Yeah.
give us a few
Uh,
tips?"
no, I was getting some Shuffleolution vibes from them for a couple of spots, but
Do you
that's
think
okay.
that
Maybe that
if
was me.
anyone from Shuffleolution got into Chap Kids, anyone would even know?
No,
Like, do you think if they rotated some of the dancers in and out,
it's
anyone would ever know?
as long as they had their outfits correct. I don't think anybody would notice. Yeah. All right. Heidi said, "Wow, wow, wow! Each move you do is so precise. I really think you danced your way into the finals." Simon said, "I think this has been the best performance of the night so far. I think it's so important to remember you are inexperienced, not professionals, and you're so talented and so amazing and work so hard. I love you." Sophia said, "This was such a treat for me. It's the music I listened to all day long. It was amazing." Howie said, "I think you're going into the finals." Uh, Cody said, "I think you're going into the finals." And unfortunately, they
I
don't.
I
They're
I already had
eliminated.
it marked on my spreadsheet, but they were getting me 2 points. I was like,
Oh, ouch.
we had them number 5. Um, maybe in team bias here, but I had them at number 2.
Okay.
You had them at number 9, so that kind of balanced, that kind of averaged us out.
Yeah.
And then commenter had them at 5.
Okay. So, yeah, I pulled them way down.
Yeah.
Um, if you're going to be a dance team like V Unbeatable or who was the one that had the big props on stage?
Diavolo,
Yeah,
not
Diavolo,
Diabolo, not
not
Diabolo. That's the
not
yo-yos,
Diabolo. Yeah,
not Diabolo. No.
Diavolo. Yeah, like
Yes.
they're memorable and they're big and they're strong and they're powerful. And this is like a dance troupe. Like, and it's just like I've seen so much better.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
just it's it's fine,
Yeah.
And if they were on So You Think You Can Dance, they might do great there. But like I feel like they're just sort of it's also there. Like
Yeah. If you had to pick one kid group, would you pick uh Chap Kiss but with kids, or would you pick Light Balance but with kids?
ooh, Light Balance. Like I still remember Light Balance. I won't remember Chap Kids in a year. Like
Okay.
they're just a dance group.
Okay.
It's fine. Like if they're a dance group with lights, like that's at least
Yeah.
something, or
Yeah.
a dance group with props, or a dance group with
Diavolo but with kids.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right. So that's Chap Kids. Unfortunately, they're going to
Kid
be eliminated.
kid unbeatable.
Kid, Kids Unbeatable.
Kids unbeatable. Yeah.
Um, all right. The Kids Chap. All right, let's talk about the seventh act of the night. This is another one off of your board. This is Real
Not a good
Chris.
night for Cody. Not a good night. No.
Oh man, I was
Yes.
disappointed to see them
Yeah.
eliminated. I
Yeah.
liked Real Chris. They're the hand balancing brothers, the balancing brothers. This
The
is
Balancing Brothers.
the balancing brothers. Um, what are their names? I don't even remember their names. Ricardo, Alejandro, and Christian or something.
Christopher. Yeah.
Christoph.
So,
I'm
yeah.
I'm making that up. They're probably not right. Um, so you portmanteau that together, you get Real Chris.
I think last week they actually wore shirts or jackets or something that had their names on them.
It might have. They might have.
Yes.
Okay, so this is where I do the thing where I describe what they did, and it's I enjoy this kind of act. I enjoy what they did. The first act they did, the first brother hoists the second brother up, so he is sitting on his shoulders, like just you're going to do a chicken fight or something in the pool. The third brother then pushes himself up into a handstand on the second brother's ankles, while the second brother leans back to cantilever himself, so they're balanced on that first brother's shoulders. Uh, I feel like we've seen something like this before from Real Chris. I still love it. I love it when they cantilever themselves that way. The second set, The first brother, he's going to help the second brother put a foot against his thighs, and the other foot he's going to hook around his neck. So one foot on his thighs, the other around his neck. Second brother's leaning back. First brother's leaning back so they don't fall to the ground. And then the third brother, he's going to get hoisted into a handstand, hand to hand with the first brother. So that's pretty good. That first brother again is sort of the trunk, with his brothers hanging off of him. Their third set, first brother going to lay down on his back. Second brother goes into a handstand, like hand to hand, and then he leans to one side. So he's doing a one handstand on the brother's one hand, and then the third brother does a handstand on the other, now freed hand of the first brother laying on his back. Um, there's a little bit of a bobble here. Simon hits his buzzer, which I hate, but uh, pretty awesome trick, right? The one brother laying on his back, holding both brothers up, doing a single handstand on his hands. Okay, and then their fourth set, the first brother, he's going to help the second brother jump up so he's standing, not just sitting on his shoulders, but this time he's standing on his shoulders. Third brother is going to bend over and put like the back of his head against the first brother's backside. uh, and he's going to reach his arms up. The first brother is then going to reach back. They're going to lock arms. So now the first brother is going to be standing. Second brother is upside down with their arms locked together. And the third brother is going to go from standing on shoulders into a handstand on the second brother's feet, the upside down brother's feet that are sticking up in the air, locking arms with the third brother. And then instead of going just vertical, the third brother goes into like a horizontal pose for a couple moments, balancing on the second brother's feet extended up in the air. uh, I think it's so cool. I really love these guys. I really love their strength and their creativity and their ingenuity and all of this. I like the act a lot. You know, we get four sets out of them in their 2-ish minutes of time on the stage. Um, I think it's fun. What were your thoughts on Real Chris for this performance?
Yeah, I really like them. I'm big on the hand balancers. I like that it's three of them, but I think as Simon says, there's only so much they can really do with their body. There's only so many tricks that they can do. They have to come out every week, do what, three or four tricks, um, and try to be creative. I think it's. I'm not saying it's getting boring or repetitive, but it's what's the word I'm looking for, Jay?
Boring
They
and
have
repetitive?
maybe boring and repetitive, like what I'm trying to say. It's boring and repetitive. Um, it's difficult for them because they're trying to do a 4 minute show, the same 4 minute show four times. And it's got to be very difficult for them. I'm being repetitive by saying the same thing over and over again. Uh, I'm not sure. I enjoy it. I like it. They had two, I think, guitar players. I don't know if you noticed. I was
Yeah.
rewatching it here. They had two guitar players actually up there playing. They had fake pyro. I think they could have, spent the extra budget and got a little bit real pyro. Um,
Was it like on the screens behind
it
him?
was on the screens. That was on the
Oh,
screens on the
weird.
side and on the back.
Okay.
Yeah. So they didn't have real pyro. It was virtual pyro. Uh, I thought it was fine. I thought they did a good job. I wanted them to go through. I'm not sure that they would this time. I thought last week was much, much better. I really liked the quarterfinals better um, than
All right.
this. So, yep.
Um, yeah, this is the kind of thing that if I don't know how you take it to the next level. Like
Yes.
I feel like they've kind of reached the pinnacle of what they could do. Um, if they, maybe thinking of Diavolo, if they brought some props on, like, is there something they
Okay.
could do with seesaws, with, teeter totters, with, um, I don't know, the swings that go like the whole 360, like maybe some kind of circusy stuff with it. Um, I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with an idea to push them from just hand balancers into like mind-blowing hand balancers.
Yeah,
I'm
what
not
could they
sure.
do to kind of make it a little more dangerous? Could they elevate? I mean, they're up on a platform,
Yeah,
but could they elevate themselves where they're hanging from something and they have to balance a little bit better?
yeah, some spinning, or what
Yeah.
if they get pulled up on Aiden Bryant's rope by his mom, and then they're lowered into a position somehow instead
Yeah.
of climbing into the position. I don't know. Like, I feel like there's something that could be done. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, and we see this almost every year from a hand balancer. We love it the first couple of weeks, but then by that like that semifinal, it's like, okay, we've now seen the same thing. What do you do to elevate that? And
Yeah,
maybe you have to literally elevate in order to make it better.
yeah. Sophia said, I thought it was creative, exciting, dangerous, contemporary, and I thought it was amazing. Simon said, I think we've seen the same act every time. I don't see an improvement. Heidi said, I think your family must be so proud, and I liked it. Howie said, I disagree with Simon. You took strength, trust, and danger, and you made it work for you. Um, so not the highest of praise from the judges. Uh, Unfortunately, Cody, they're going to be eliminated. They do the thing where they have Kabir Singh and Real Chris come forward in the result
Yes.
show.
And I was like, both of them. Yes.
It's
Four
both of
points.
you.
Yes.
Oh, your poor heart. They didn't say that. They
No,
said it's neither of you.
it's commenter's favorite words. It's neither of you.
Oh man. Okay, so Real Chris gets eliminated alongside Kabir Singh. Um, so no points for Cody on the night. Um,
Oh for three.
oh for
Oh
three.
for three. I went over on the night, Jay.
Oof.
Over.
I'm really glad that I didn't. Um, okay. 10th act of the night. We're almost there. We've got Josh Blue. He's our stand-up comedian with cerebral palsy.
oh,
His
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jay.
We got to back
We
up
had
and talk about
yeah,
how
we
long it
had
was.
we no 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 no. We had them eighth overall
Oh,
on our
okay.
list. Yeah, I had him seventh. You had him sixth. Commenter had him ninth.
Okay. So we
So
all had him outside of the bubble, even.
yes. Yep. Okay.
Uh,
Just
well, I
wanted to
guess
get
six
that
of them
in
have
there.
him out in the bubble, but yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Let's talk
Yep.
about
Okay.
Josh Blue now. In his video intro package, he talks about how like he was a little bit nervous about having kids because of his cerebral palsy, and he says, "I'm wiggly and they're wiggly, and it kind of cancels each other out when I'm holding a baby." So it's he talks about his family and his children, and it's kind of a endearing package for Josh Blue. Um, in his set, he talks about the Paralympics just finished, and
Yep.
he was in fact a member of the Paralympic soccer team. Uh, Paralympics are the second largest athletic competition in the world, second only to the able body Olympics. And he says it must be nice to be able to run with two legs. Uh, and then it makes the whole audience uncomfortable. So, do you know how he did? He says, let's just say there was no cheers, right? Like, do you know how we did? Did we win? Were we eliminated in the first round? Do you know? But he says, let's just say me and my teammates didn't have to get tested for any performance enhancing drugs. Um, he got injured, and his coach had the nerve to put him on the disabled list. uh, and it talks about how when the team gets off the plane, there's everyone in the terminal thinks there must be some kind of zombie invasion with all the disabled or cerebral palsy and all the soccer players coming off like that. So it's a pretty fun set, pretty funny. He does a great job of kind of poking fun at how people react to his disability in the world. And it's like in a way he's poking fun at himself, but in a way he's poking fun at all of us, and that's
Yeah.
it's endearing, it's funny, it's good. I like Josh Blue. What do you think of his set?
Yeah, I like this too. I thought it was a lot of fun. I like it's timely because we just finished the Paralympics. Uh, I just checked the official Wikipedia site, the official site for the United States Paralympic soccer team on
Okay.
Wikipedia. The last time they were in the Paralympic Games was 2012. So they didn't even make
Okay,
this year's Paralympics.
that checks out because yeah, like he was on the Paralympic soccer team. He didn't say the
Uh,
2020 Paralympic soccer team.
Yep.
uh, but yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, it,
This is kind of his act, though, right? Is to talk about his disability and poke fun at it and get audience reaction and make them uncomfortable. That's kind of his whole act, though, right?
yeah, and like it's not uncomfortable. Like, oh, I didn't like that. It's uncomfortable. Like, oh, that made me uncomfortable, and I
Yeah.
kind of
Like
like it.
I don't know if I should laugh at that or
it's
not. Yeah.
it's like riding a roller coaster, right? Like it's, oh man, that was a thrill, and I was safe the entire time. uh, okay, so quick detour here on Paralympics. I watched the movie Murder Ball, which is the wheelchair rugby, um, or a documentary about wheelchair rugby, and the way that they set it up is they score each person's ability, with like a 1 to 4, maybe it's a 0.5 to 4, and you can only have a certain number. So the more disabled you are, the lower your ability ranking is. And then they say, like, of the 5 people on the floor, you can only have a maximum of 9 points of disability on the floor. So you could have 2 4s, and then 2 people that are you know very disabled, very hard for them to move around or whatever it is. So it's I think that's a really interesting way, and in the chess game of these team sports, having the disability rankings, and you can only have so much ability on the field at a time. I think that's kind of fun. So just sort of a little insight into how those team Paralympic sports works.
Okay. Cool. That's really cool.
Okay, hopefully that made sense to you.
Yeah.
All right. Uh, Off the detour, back onto the path here. Sophia said, "You guys are so fun and so inspirational. You're living your best life." You, Josh, not you guys. Simon said, "You're just funny, very naughty, and you don't care. I think we're going to see you next week." Howie said, "I don't think this is. I don't just think this is the year of comedy. I think this is the year of Josh Blue." So I'd say pretty high praise from the judges. Good, good overall. How did he rank? What was his? How long was he on the screen?
His rank was we had him fourth overall.
Oh, really?
I had him the lowest at 6.
Okay.
You had him at 3. Commenter had him at 4. He was on the screen a little bit longer. He had a little over 7 minutes of total screen time.
Okay.
So
Including the.
his set was 4 minutes,
Okay.
which
So
feels about right. I think that's where they need to be.
yeah, yeah. They should always give comedians at least that long. Is kind of what I would say. Uh. All right.
Yeah, I mean, in compare, he and Kabir were very close. Kabir was 351, he was 404. So they were, and part of Kabir was a buzz that he had to react to.
Yeah.
So
All right. Any further thoughts on Josh Blue?
nope.
Okay. Last act of the night then is Brooke Simpson. She is the indigenous singer. She wants to be the first Native American pop star. She's on Commenter's team. She gets this 11th spot. That this is if the first spot is the death spot, this is sort of the golden spot, all right?
Yeah, I think I've seen Steven Anderson refer to it as the pimp spot.
The pimp spot. Okay.
Yeah.
In her audition, she sang "Cause I Love You." In the quarters, she sang "Lost Cause." This time, she's going to sing Ed Sheeran's "Bad Habits." Um, Again, this is another song that I'm not familiar with, and there's no denying her talent. She's very talented, probably the best singer of the season, if at least one of the best, if not the best. Um, I really wish she would sing something that I know that I could
Yeah.
connect with.
Yeah.
But this has gotten her this far, so
Yeah.
I can't tell her
And
she's doing anything wrong.
and it's very poppy. She's a very poppy singer.
Yeah. So you know, I do think that this is good enough to get her through to the finals. I don't know that I would have put her in the finals myself.
Yeah. No, I mean she is definitely a final singer. I mean, she's great. I don't know what it is, but I really like her for some reason, and I'm not sure what it is, but I really really like her. She owns the stage. I mean, I'm rewatching. I have her up right now. She's all over the stage. She's playing to the camera. She's got a good range in her voice. She's singing songs we're not familiar with, but I'm trying to look past that a little bit.
That's my fault,
Um,
not hers. I I
yeah,
will
that's
I will freely
it's
admit.
yeah. Jay's like it's me, it's not you. So funny enough, Jay, I was watching the NFL pregame show before the Cowboys Bucks game, and on comes Ed Sheeran
Yeah,
singing this song.
bad habits. All right.
Yes, so I'm like, wow, NBC really likes Bad Habits.
I so like I can't even hum a line from the song. Like it doesn't stick with me at all.
Okay,
it's just fine. It's just fine.
okay, yeah.
Um yeah, Simon said it was a shaky start, but the second half was spectacular. I really do think you deserve a spot in the finals. Sophia said, your confidence is insane. Every time you look more beautiful, and I'm loving everything you do. Heidi said, you shine so bright, it's almost blinding. Stellar performance. Howie said, you ended with a bang and you owned it. So uh, she is going to go through to the finals. This is where they brought Brooke Simpson and Chap Kids forward. And one of you is going to go through. The act going through is Brooke Simpson.
I was praying. I knew it wouldn't happen, but I was praying for an upset.
um, yeah,
I mean, both of them are really good acts. Both of them are really, really good acts.
yeah, and no
Yeah.
surprise that she goes through, in one of those top three spots. Um, yeah, if I were more of an Ed Sheeran fan, I probably would have enjoyed it more. But this felt passable to me. It was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And the what I heard this evening and what I heard on Tuesday night, two completely different styles of this exact same song. And it was very mind blowing to kind of hear the dichotomy between the two.
yeah, I'd like Brooke Simpson to sing one of Jimmy Harad's songs. One of those nostalgic show tunes or something that I know.
Yeah,
And
let her sing tomorrow. See what it sounds
yeah,
like.
yeah, let's have a Brooke Simpson tomorrow instead of Ed Sheeran's. I don't even know it. Bad Habits
Bad
or
habits.
Lost
Yeah.
Cause or Cause I Love You. Um, like, give me something I know, and maybe I'll be able to judge it better then. But like I said, there's no denying like the raw talent there, and the stage presence. Like she has a really fantastic foundation that she's working from. She's beautiful, but not like overtly sexy. Just all around really, 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 really good.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with her in the finals. I could even see her, top five, top three, top one, even. Yeah,
Yeah.
is a real distinct possibility.
Well, we had her number one overall. You had her way down at 5.
Yeah, didn't
Yeah.
connect.
Okay. Okay. Which is interesting. Actually, her and U Circle Flow tied with the same score.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you
In the
guys were
averages.
wrong, and Unicircle Flow deserves to go through, and Brooke can be on the bubble and may or may not go through. That's fine with me. All right. Should we talk about any other highlights from the results show before we put this one away?
Yeah, I don't think I had a whole lot from the results show. Do you have the highlights there in front of you?
Well, I didn't write anything down, but we had our the pretty long performance of the Danger Act. The name's escaping me.
Oh, Deadly duh. Deadly Games and um wow,
Why can't I come
commenters
up
just
with
like yelling at his phone right now. Yeah, Deadly Games and why am I blanking on this now?
Me too. It's the trapeze duo transcend.
Do a
There
transcend,
it is.
yes. Because yes, he's like yelling at his phone right now. Yeah, this was great.
I was banking on you
Uh
to have this down and all ready to talk about it because this is
oh
right up
yeah,
your alley.
it is right up my alley. And for some reason, I was completely blanking on this. I don't know why. But yeah, this was great to have both of them together. Not just doing two different things. They actually got together and did a cooperative performance.
Yeah.
Uh, I was glued to this when it was on. And again, it's been 24 hours now, and uh, for some reason I was blanking on it. But
Okay.
when I was
Well,
watching this, I was glued to it.
I don't have a blow by blow of what happened, but Deadly Games, he threw knives around his partner who was standing in front of the board that he threw into, uh, popping balloons. He shoots the crossbow and pops balloons that she's holding in her mouth. Does it once over his shoulder where he uses his phone's camera to aim as he's facing backwards. It's all pretty cool. Duo transcend, it's the flipping and the dropping and the lifting and flipping and holding and what they do up on the trapeze where he's sort of the strength behind it all, and she looks great doing her part in it. At the very end, then uh, duo transcend drops down low enough to pull up the female partner of Deadly Games, and he shoots a crossbow between them and pops the balloon that was holding in her mouth. So, um, really cool, really fun act. Um, the other thing that they spent a solid couple minutes on was Simon driving around in an electric vehicle, a Kia. Um,
They've really driven this to death.
they drove that into the ground.
Because I think
Uh,
even in like the preview or like the teaser for the show, uh Terry even talked about, oh well, we're coming to the end of our season. That means that we're coming to the end of our partnership with Kia or something like along those lines. So
yeah, they really wanted to build the buzz, but the electricity just wasn't there. They,
yeah.
we didn't have a strong connection. I'm
Should they
trying to
have
make
had
electrical jokes here, but it's just
yeah,
not.
should they have had Darcy Lynn drive it?
Ah, oh, geez. No, it's too much. Um, what can I say? I don't know.
Yeah,
It's fine. Uh,
yeah.
their partnership with Kia is a thing that is, and they really needed to shoehorn that commercial in there for us.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
what's our official standing going into finals?
So the official standing going into finals is so commenter has 19, you have 16, and I have 7.
Okay.
So
19 to 16 to 7.
yep.
If
So
if Unicircle Flow had been through instead of commenters, who was it that went through? Instead of Victory Brinker,
yes.
it would have been I would have had 18 to his 17 to your
Yes.
7.
Yes.
Shoot. All right. Well, it's a razor's edge here that
Yep.
separates us. Then going into the finals, commenter has 5, I have 4, and you have
1. I
1.
have 1. I have 1. He has 5. You have 4, and I have 1. Yes.
Okay. So if you make the top 5, you get a bonus 4 points.
Yeah. So let me break down how we're going to be doing the scoring for the finals.
Go for it.
So yeah. So going into the finals, each act that went through to the finals got 2 points these last 2 weeks. If you get into the top 5, you're going to get 4 points for your act.
Okay. So
After
1,
that, it get
2, and then 4 for making top 5. Okay.
correct. So after that, for the top 5, if you're fifth place, you're going to get a point. If you're fourth place, you're going to get 2 points. If you're third place, you're going to get 4 points. If you're the runner up, you get 8 points. And if you're the winner, you get 16 points.
Okay, so 1, 2, 4,
So
8, 16.
yes. So that means that I can only max out at 20, unless they add a wild card. The max I can get is 20 points.
Whew. Okay. Uh, so if you had X that got second, third, fourth, and fifth, would get 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1, which still isn't 20
Yes.
points. Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you could get 15 points for second, third, fourth, and fifth, and first place would still get you 16 points. Okay. All right. I'm not sure that I totally agree with it, but if it gives you a chance,
but I have a 1 in 10 chance.
okay.
Commenter has a 50% chance.
Yeah, all things equal. Yep.
Yeah.
And I've got a 40% chance. So
yep.
All right. Well, that's fun. I will hopefully have a really great final. I feel good about having Leah Kyle in there, Northwell Health Nurse Choir in there. I've also got Josh Blue and Gina Brione in the finals. So those are my 4. I feel good about those. I've got at least a few points coming to me.
Yeah. So say Simon does add a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Who would we like, points aside, just watching the show for pure entertainment? Who would we like to see as a wild card in the finals?
Oh, boy, like my brain goes straight to Unicircle Flow, and I've
agree.
talked at
Yep.
length about how wonderful I think they are and how I think they're built for the show.
Yep.
Singing acts, I feel like One Accord has a spot. Like, I don't know. I don't need to draw this out. Unicircle Flow is my answer.
Okay. I think I agree. I think looking at it, because who we didn't have go through, we had One Accord, Madeline Bailey, no, Korean Soul, Peter Rosalita, Kabir. Do you want to give Kabir another shot?
No.
Okay. Real Chris.
Yeah, like I would like to see them.
Okay. But Beyond Belief and Chap Kids.
Yeah.
Not really.
They're not mine. Not my thing.
Yep. Of course, Unicircle Flow. Tori. Do you want to see Tori?
Well, I mean,
I'm saying points aside,
but
for points aside, purely entertainment watching the show.
No.
Okay. Michael Winslow, and then of course Peter Antonio.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I think Unicircle Flow is the correct answer. If they did a wild card, that's who we want to see.
Yeah. Who was the first one out in the first semifinals? Who is that sixth place points getter?
So, well, World Taekwondo and Jimmy Harad were on the bubble. They were on there with Korean Soul.
Korean Soul. Yeah.
Is that who they were on the instant save with?
I'm scrolling up in my notes here.
Okay.
No, it was Michael Winslow. Jimmy Harad, Michael Winslow,
okay.
World Taekwondo.
Okay.
So Michael Winslow would have been the first one out in the first semifinals.
Okay.
And I would rather see Unicircle than Michael Winslow.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, I could go with that.
So, all right, there you go. If there's a Simon, I know you're listening. If there is a wild card and it's not too late, Unicircle Flow is who you need to bring back.
Yep.
It has been decided. All right. Well, Cody, this has been a season. We've got one more performance and then the results show. I guess that's something we could talk real quick about. Were there any celebrity acts, any famous people you were hoping to see that you were imagining any of these Got Talent acts pairing up with?
Oh, that's a good question. So if they do that, so let's see. Well, the nurse choir. I mean, surely you don't want to bring another choir to sing with them. So
no, you'd probably go with a soloist.
Yes. I would even go with maybe some sort of musician, um,
Yeah.
someone that maybe plays a piano or something along those lines.
Okay.
Maybe
Interesting
bring them
idea.
in.
All right.
Yep. Josh Blue, one of the comedians. Of course, you want to see them do
Yeah, I don't
more
know how you
comedians.
team a comedian up with somebody.
Well, didn't we see that in season two where they teamed up and did like a roasting?
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think they could do something like that, tell jokes. If they were like the brothers that we saw in audition, the
The
brothers,
Sklars. Yeah.
the Scar brothers. They could do something like that if they worked out their routine well enough. They could bounce stuff off each
Mm-hmm.
other.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke Simpson's obviously going to sing with a singer. Does Ed Sheeran come in and they do a duet of Bad Habits again?
Maybe I think that's the logical thing that they would do. Uh, no, David and Danya, we lost David recently. Is
We
that
lost
right?
David. Yes, yes.
So what if Leah Kyle and Danya teamed
Okay,
up?
that's good.
I would
Yep,
like to see that.
yep.
Yeah. Um, boy, Aiden Bryant, would you bring another aerialist on, or would you have him perform like next to a singer or a musical act of some sort?
I would probably have a musical act. I don't know if we could team him up with another aerialist. I think we do some sort of singing act.
All right.
Um, Maybe we bring Deadly Games back. I don't know.
World Taekwondo and V Unbeatable. Is that just too much?
That's way too much. Yes. Um, yeah, they got a lot going on the stage. I'm not sure I would feel
We're working
safe.
in the Dolby Theater, not a football field.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if I'd feel safe with them breaking boards with a singer up on the stage. Um, that'd be
All right.
interesting.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Dustin
I
Dustin Tavella, bring in another magician.
yeah, probably. Um, he would go well with who is the football player magician?
John Dornbos.
With John Dorenbos.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they both have a good story, don't they?
Yep. They're kind of in the same lane, same.
Yeah, except John Dornbos is more high energy and
Uh
motivational,
huh.
and Dustin Tavella is like really cool and even keel and like takes his time, tells a real good story. So
They might play off each other well. That would be
maybe
my
so.
hope.
Maybe
All
so.
right. Well, yeah. I guess all that conversation to say I don't feel like there's any like obvious. Oh, this is a celebrity they need to perform with. So,
Yeah.
um, I guess that's that. Any other thoughts on the season so far? Anything going into the finals here?
Not that I can think of at this point. It's going to be interesting. I think we have a nice mix here. We got a couple of singers. We got World Taekwondo that breaks stuff. We got a magician, couple of comedians, two comedians,
Two comedians, both off
two
of my
comedians.
draft board.
Yep, good job, good job. We got an aerialist, so I think we've got a good mixture. If we can bring Unicycle Flow back, um,
Ooh,
it's
don't
it's
tease me
not.
like that.
I know, but we've had seasons where it's been very singer heavy. I feel it's a nice mixture, a little more variety this time.
Yeah.
Um, there's about three that could probably win this.
Yeah, I guess I haven't kind of pre-ranked the top 10, and I always have a hard time, post draft divorcing myself from
Yes,
like, oh yeah, I definitely want Leah Kyle. Like, well, she's on my draft board, so do I definitely want to Leah Kyle because she's on my draft board, or do I
yeah,
want Leah Kyle because it's unique and fun and interesting?
yes,
Um, After her last performance, it's like, well, it wasn't the smoothest,
yep,
but I'd love to see a variety act like that, take home the prize. So I don't know.
yep,
Yeah, I'm in my head all about it, and I can't undraft her to
yep.
to know how I would react. So um, all that to say, Cody, this has been a fun adventure so far. Uh, Please, if you have questions, comments, we read and respond to everything that comes in. So email, Twitter,
Speak
Instagram.
speak. Speaking of which, Jay, we did
Yes.
get an email this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we got an email from Calvin,
Hi, Calvin.
and Calvin sent us his quarterfinal rankings, which is fine. We're in the
Hey, we'll take
semifinals,
that.
but Calvin, we appreciate you sending it in. So next week, if you want to send us your finals rankings when we do the finale, we'd appreciate that. But real quick, Jay, I just kind of want to go through his rankings. He gave us, we broke up our rankings by episode. He put everything together.
Okay.
So I took his and then I broke it apart based on the
Each
show and
episode.
went
Okay.
ahead and averaged those in with our score. But I kind of want to go through a few things here that he's got in his rankings.
Okay.
Okay, so just some highlights here. He had World Taekwondo as number one.
Okay.
I think that's very.
Interesting.
Yep. Dustin Tavella number two, Jimmy Harad number three, Rialkus number four.
Wow. Okay. So Jimmy, Real Chris, and
So World Taekwondo, Dustin Tavella, Jimmy, and Rialkus, top
just
four.
okay. Uh None of those were on my draft board. So thanks for that. Two were yours and two were commenters.
He had Gina at five, Kabir at Sing. So two comedians in the top six, or actually all three comedians together, five, six, seven, Gina, Kabir, and Josh,
Oh
which
wow.
when I was talking about it, I kind of had those three at the initially reversed. I
Yeah.
always thought like Gina was the bottom one, and it was Josh, Kabir, and Gina.
Yeah.
After this week, that of course shifted after the semifinals.
Sure.
That shifted some. Then Unicircle Flow at eight, One Accord nine, Leah Kyle 10, Aiden Bryant 11. So it's interesting rankings. So
Yeah.
your first, you've got some down here. And you got them in the top 10. So they're in the top 10. That they're in the
All
finals,
right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
as they kept saying in the Olympics in the swimming like semifinals, they said you just have to find a lane, right?
That's
You
right.
don't have to win the race, you just have to find a lane. So
That's
if you
right.
make it into the finals, you've got a chance. If you don't make it into the
Yes.
finals, you don't have a chance.
Yeah. So here's what I found a little interesting as well. You had Johnny Showcase at 12
Oh
and
wow.
Storm Lawrence at 13.
Okay.
Chap Kids 14, Peter Antonio at 15.
Calvin, we need to talk.
His comment is impressive, but it was really dot 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 dot
Really,
really
really
dot 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 really
long.
drawn out. So I'm glad we're on the same page on that,
Okay.
Calvin. Then he has Korean Soul at 16, T3 17, Brooke Simpson 18, Victory at 19.
Okay. She exceeded expectations then.
Yep. 20 Madeline, 21 Gangsta Grass, 22 the Nurse Choir.
Wow. I was just looking back at my team here. I had Gangster Grass as my second drafted group
Yeah.
on my team.
Yep.
I don't get it. Like I enjoy them so much, but Calvin must think more like America than I do because he put them quite low and they underperformed, and I'm sad about that.
Yeah. Doc Took at 23, Michael Winslow at 24, Peter Rosalito at 25, Anika 26, Tori 27, Curtis Family, C Notes 28,
Whoa.
Positive Impact. Yeah. Positive Impact 29.
Oh.
And now we're kind of getting down. So he had Curtis Family C Notes down there with Positive Impact, Keith Apicary, Kleck, Shufflelution, Beyond Belief, Matt Johnson, K9
And
Stars.
Seth Word.
And what's interesting, Seth Word's not even numbered. So
He's not even numbered. Oh, come on. Okay. All right.
So, thank you for that, Calvin.
No, yeah, thank you, Calvin. That helps us sort of get outside of our heads and hear a little bit of what more people think about it. I look at Reddit, I look at Twitter, I look at people's power rankings, and it's all over the board. Like somebody will put, like, well, clearly the top three are A, B, and C, and somebody's like, what?
Yes.
In
Clearly?
what world?
Yeah.
So
that's what's so great about this show. So
it really is. And it's been fun. We will we have one more chance to talk about it. Here's pulling for Team One Man Bander. I don't know what else to say. It's been a journey. I'm looking forward to the end of the tunnel here. We'll take a breath, take a couple weeks off to collect ourselves and be back for some off season content. But I'm looking too far down the road. We've got
Yeah,
a
we got to
lot.
get through the finale first.
We got a lot here first. So
Yeah,
in the meantime, please rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend about us. 5 stars, and since it's not podcast Rev Day, um, uh, do review us.
it's
And,
technicality, semantics, right, Jay?
yeah, I don't know. No, we appreciate all the feedback, all the love, and I'll remind you all to stay safe. Thanks.
Have a good night.